For E3 2018, which is starting this year on Tuesday, June the 12th. And all this talk about possible Halo 6, at least some sort of trailer maybe. We'll see how that goes. I remember seeing a while back, they said something about they're not even going to show it at E3 this year. That's how far off Halo 6 is. But I guess we'll just have to see. And wait till then, but until then, I decided that it would be a good idea to just brush up on some Halo, and for anybody who wants to watch, to just go through all the campaigns again, and just remember, what the series is all about. And so, what better place to start than with the Master Chief Collection, and more specifically, Halo CE. And I think that I'm gonna go ahead and play with the old graphics just to get, complete nostalgia, all that. And so today I'm just going to be doing the first mission, and I have this listed as a walkthrough, and it really is a walkthrough. I've been playing Legendary with my bud, but I think what we're going to do is we're just going to walk through on normal, just to get the story and walk through and all the nostalgia and all that. Everything else doesn't really matter, and just start on Pillar of Autumn, the first mission. We're going to play on normal. Yeah. Alright, so let's get going. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. And here we go. And this is Halo CE, and the first mission is the Pillar of Autumn. I think it starts out in the remastered edition cutscene, but after this first cutscene, we'll go ahead and switch over to the old graphics. Like it was meant to be played, And this is always going to be my favorite Halo, regardless of everything that I've ever done with any of the other games. Because I actually played this one first, and when it came out in 2001, I was 5 or 6 at the time, I don't exactly remember. And unbeknownst to my mother, I'm sure, I played with my uncle and him and his friends, and his almost stepson. We played all the time, and it was great. I was terrible at it, of course, but the multiplayer and just playing the campaign and being put into this completely new world that I had never seen before. I was obsessed with Star Wars at the time too, and seeing something that's kind of like that, but a little bit more grounded in our reality and military. That's something that I was really big into as a kid too, is military, anything that had to do with that. And yeah, so this was really up my alley, and just seeing, especially this first mission just right here, completely drew me in, and I couldn't stop playing it, even though it was a mature game, and being 5 years old. I'd play it anyway. And the only really bad thing about these games has always been the blood. And most, even now, Halo 5, it's rated T for teen because they took most of that stuff out.
Well, that's it then. Bring the ship
And I'm kind of impartial to it. I didn't really care that much about it, but now seeing that it's a teen game, more people should be able to play it, but people really didn't like that they changed that, and among other things, obviously, with Halo 5, but I don't know. I think that M is what Halo is, and that's what it should be. It's kind of gritty, military type shooter, and you can't really do that as a teen game. That's more for things like, Overwatch and all the games that do have some stuff in them, but they're not like this. Not even close.
Platoon, secure airlocks on deck 11. 14th platoon rendezvous with 22nd Tactical at Bulkhead Charlie 14.
So along with the news of Halo 6 possibly getting announced, something, even just a small trailer tidbit, there was something that happened not too long ago. They actually announced that an arcade cabinet, kind of like the old Alien Marines games, where they'd have guns set up on pedestals, and you just sit or stand and just shoot aliens, share the screen with another person. Well, this one, I think there's 4 guns on it, I believe, and it's called Halo Fireteam Raven, and it ties along really great with Halo CE because that's what it's based off of. So you play as Fireteam Raven, a squad of ODSTs in Halo CE, and so you get to see a lot of the nostalgic places that the Chief went to, but you're not playing the exact same storyline. It's kind of like how ODST was for Halo 3, or Halo 2 and Halo 3, because it's in between that. And so I'm pretty excited to maybe look at that. It's debuting at Dave & Buster's. I'm not sure when. I wasn't able to find that. But there's a Dave & Buster's in Nashville, not too far from me. So I'm going to see if I can get a trip going there, because I think that would be really fun to try out. Because it's something that, you know, Halo's never been at. It's never been in an arcade. And I'm pretty excited about it. I don't really care that much for arcade games, but they are a big part of gaming in general. So I think it's really cool that they've got new experiences like that, just like the VR thing that they had not too long ago. That stuff's really cool and pushes the technology further. Not necessarily arcade, but you know.
Chief, please look around the room. I need to get a calibration reading for your battle.
Oh yes, the infamous tutorial.
I'm bringing the health monitors online.
Always my favorite. And then they ask you if you want to invert.
Vital signs
Go
are
ahead and
normal.
switch over to the old graphics. Get that nostalgia flowing.
Go ahead and climb out of the cryotube.
I love how in Halo 1 they didn't really have anything in mind, so when you're playing two-player co-op, they just have the two tubes there and you both get out. And later on they're like, oh, whoa, whoa, lore is important, lore is important. There's not actually two Master Chiefs.
I know the ordnance techs usually take care of your targeting sensors, but we're short of time.
Oh
Chief.
gosh.
Just look at each of the flashing panels to target them. When you lock
Alright.
on, it'll change color. Okay,
There you go.
that looks good.
Sir, I'm getting some calibration errors. I'm going to invert your looking pitch so you can see if you like it better.
This
that way.
old mission.
Try targeting the flashing lights again.
Oh no, not inverted.
Is that
I hate
better, or should I
inverted.
switch it back? Okay. Try looking up and down again, please. Do you want me to leave it like that or switch it
Yes,
again?
please. I do not want
I'll leave it to
inversions.
normal.
People who play with inversions are
Into
insane.
check later.
This isn't like freaking flying a plane.
I'm ready for the energy shield test now.
Please follow me to the energy shield test station.
I wonder if Halo 6 will have, like they do in Halo 1, where they have shields and health. I doubt it, because most of the stuff has gone to just regenerating shield type thing. Even Call of Duty doesn't have shield, but you have regenerating health. And I think it's, I really liked Halo 1's system where you had a
Sir, I need
shield.
you to look at me so we can begin.
Okay,
bring the
fine.
energy shields online, please.
As a jerk. But I like Halo 1's system, how it's got a shield and health for you to take care of. So even if you do get down to 1 health, you're not gonna die with 1 shot,
Okay, sir.
unless
Bring
it's a
the
headshot.
captain to
But
the
you know,
automatic recharge.
it's not a huge deal if you get down to 1, because you can find health packs around the world and you still have your shields that will recharge. And I always like that about Halo 1.
Recharging normally. We're showing green across the board.
Bridge to Cryo 2, this is Captain Key. Send the Master Chief to the bridge immediately.
Captain, we'll have to skip the weapons diagnostics and
On the
I...
double
Of
terminal.
course we
Aye,
will.
aye, sir. The skipper seems
Because they
to
can't
know.
let you
Better get
fight in
going.
the beginning.
Find your weapons later.
Okay, I'll leave the self-diagnostics running at least. Oh God! They're trying to
And
enter the
you
door.
are a dead man.
Security! Intruders in Cryo 2! Leave shot!
GG, bro, GG.
Come on, we've got to get the hell out of here. This way.
Go, go, go. And you are also a dead man. Bye.
All right, boarding party on port deck 4, 7, and 12.
And here comes that music. Let's go find this scrub marine. He's gonna take us to the bridge. Like stormtroopers, they can't shoot anything.
Move!
Ah!
Fall back, man!
Yeah, he's really a scrub.
Over there!
There he is. Alright.
The captain needs you on the bridge ASAP.
Yeah, I'd love to go see him. Let's go. So he can give me his pistol. He doesn't keep loaded. What a waste. Ridiculous. I understand he's the captain of a spaceship, but come on. You're in the military and you have a gun on you that doesn't have any bullets. You've got to be kidding me. And here is where you see Cortana, but when she's completely messed up.
Captain Keyes.
I really hate how they made Cortana look in the first
Good to see
game.
you,
And
Master Chief.
obviously, they didn't know what they were doing with her, but
Cortana did her best.
she looks way better in Halo 2.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with
Just
the
looks
three.
so weird.
Make that 4 kills. Sleep well?
No thanks to your driving. Yes.
So you did miss me.
Report.
Here we go.
It must have been one of their boarding parties. I'd guess an antimatter charge.
Ma'am, fire control for the main cannon is offline.
Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
All right then. I'm initiating Cold Protocol Article 2. We're
Time
abandoned.
to kill everything.
That means you too, Cortana.
While you do what? Go down with the ship?
In a manner of speaking. The object we found, I'm gonna try and land the Autumn on it.
With all
Object.
due respect,
Giant
sir,
planet
this war has
ring.
enough dead heroes.
I appreciate your concern, Cortana, but it's not up to me. The protocol is clear. Destruction or capture of a shipboard AI is absolutely unacceptable. That means you're leaving ship. Lock in a selection of emergency landing
Captain
zones,
Keyes is so
upload
cool.
them to my neural lace,
I really
then
wish we
sort
didn't
yourself for a heart
didn't have to do what you have to later on. Spoiler alert.
which is
Just in case nobody's played this game, even though
Get
it's,
Cortana off
15
the
years
ship.
old
Keep her safe from the enemy.
or
If they
more.
capture
I don't
her,
remember
they'll learn
exactly how
everything.
old it
Force
is.
deployment,
17,
weapons
whatever.
research. Earth.
Somewhere in the teens. It's getting up there. It's almost allowed to legally vote.
The Autumn will continue evasive maneuvers until you initiate a
But if
landing
nobody's
sequence.
played this game, you
Most
really
people
should pick it
listen,
up.
but
You
I'd
really should
suggest
pick up the
letting
Master
somebody
Chief collection
handle the final approach.
and play through
Excellent
all the
work.
games.
Thank
What
you.
I'm gonna do with
Are you
this
ready?
series is I'm gonna play through them as they came out. So it's gonna be like Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST. I think that Halo Wars came out before Halo Reach, and then
Good luck, Master.
Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2. I don't think I'll play any of the Spartan Assault or Spartan Strike games.
Your
I
architecture
don't really
isn't much different from
consider
the
those as part of
Don't get any
any type of Halo, really. But
I don't
those were really just to push Microsoft's new phone that they had coming out and stuff like that. I'm not really into the top-down Halo stuff. It was okay, I guess, if you're playing on mobile or whatever. But that's not something that I was really into, so I'll probably just stick to the, I'm gonna say mainline Halo games, even though Reach and CE or Reach and ODST aren't really mainline or mainline enough.
Those Marines could use some help, team. What you do best.
So I love how in Halo 2 they ramped up the difficulty of, I'm sure all the different ones, all the different difficulties that they had. I'm pretty sure they buffed them up, all of them, because I remember, and I think most people do, Halo 2 Legendary Campaign is the most difficult campaign in Halo to finish, and it's because of all the different things that they added and how much more difficult they made the game. I mean, just the fact that you can't go up to an elite without getting one punched. Like, that is seriously what they do. Every time you get up to them, they punch you once, you're dead. And that's what makes it so hard, along with the Jackal snipers that they put everywhere. And it's crazy. Absolutely insane how hard Halo 2 was. I don't think I ever completed it because I'd always get to the last mission and I'd never be able to kill Tartarus. And I'm talking about doing these solo. I don't play with people that often. I do every once in a while.
Keep your head
But
down. There's 2 of us in here now.
Whenever I go through my legendary runs, I try to do them by myself first. Just because I enjoy Halo to the point where I will play by myself all the time. And it's just something that I enjoy trying by myself before I play with other people. Just to see if I can do it. I like to challenge myself every once in a while. And sometimes, yeah, it's really hard. Like Halo 2, I tried it for a little bit, and then even when you have teammates, it's difficult because the iron squad doesn't exist then, but it's iron all the time when you're playing cooperative. If one person dies, you gotta start back from your last checkpoint. And that is so awful.
Go out and they come in.
It's like the worst part of that, because I remember I used to play with a kid that was a few years younger than me, and he would constantly die for no reason whatsoever. And so we would constantly get pushed back for no reason, even though, I'd be getting past all this stuff. Like, I remember the control room part in at the end of the last mission. I'd just sneak past those brutes and get to the end. Well, right before I did that, he'd walk in there, throw a grenade at them, and they'd, you know, kick his face in, and it'd just ruin everything. I'm like, all right, you know what? How about you just hide, and then I'll get to this part by myself. So I did that, and he wasn't much help once we got there. So that's always fun. They're shooting themselves. Good old Halo. I really miss the old days of Halo. I just watched a video not too long ago. I think it's Lagundo? Or Lagunda? Something like that. I apologize. I'll try and find your video so that I can post it in the description below when I post this to YouTube. But he was talking about how all the Halo YouTubers are saying that Halo's dead, and he had this clickbaity intro. I mean, you had to click on it already to see the intro, but it was basically saying that, oh, Halo's dead, and, you know, I would say kind of like a satirical version of what all of the other YouTubers are doing in his eyes. And actually it's about how Halo's not dead, it's just changing, and that some of the people can't change with it. Well, I think that Halo's not dead, but it's definitely different from when these games were out, the original 3 Bungie games. And I don't know, it could be a good thing. From what I've seen, it's not bad, but I don't think it's conducive to good content necessarily. Halo 5 was, in a lot of people's minds, I don't think it was. In a lot of people's minds, it was a disaster. I don't think it was a disaster, but it definitely could have been handled better, especially with the marketing. That got me so hyped. And then it almost had nothing to do with the campaign, which was a disappointment, for sure. Because they had this, you know, they had, I think it was Key and Peele, Keegan-Michael Key, I think that's his name. And he did the first season of Hunt the Truth, and that was just amazing. That was so good. I remember when I worked overnights at a McDonald's in Illinois then, and I remember going on my breaks on Sunday nights and listening to that after it got posted. And that was, you know, the highlight of my week, was having all this lore just dumped on Sunday night whenever I'm, you know, working at my job and on break. Just listening to that is just amazing. And I think that was a huge missed opportunity for them to be able to turn Halo back into a positive franchise that's moving forward and actually going to exist far into the future. I'm sure it will, just because of all the backing and the base that it's got, but Halo 4 definitely turns some fans against the Halo franchise, and it's a shame. Halo 4 was a pretty good game. I didn't like the multiplayer direction that they went. The Call of Duty style was not very good. But at the same time, I don't know. The story was good. Everybody says the story was the strongest part of it. I question that. Just because I remember playing it. My friend said that he was going to ruin it for me when I went to school the next day. And so I stayed up all night and finished the campaign the day it came out. I didn't want him ruining it for me. And I struggled keeping up with it just because I even read the books and I struggled to keep up with it. So them saying that, you know, you need a lot of outside material to help you understand the story, that really doesn't help that much either, just because they added so much stuff that's not necessarily a part of Halo. Like, they basically force-fed the Forerunner stuff. The Forerunners could have just been like in Mass Effect, where it's the Protheans, I think that's what they're called, where they're just a race that nobody ever meets, nobody knows anything about them. They're just this ambiguous, like, greater race, basically, that helps shape the galaxy the way it is. And I would have been fine with that. But now we have all this stuff that's definitively stating what Forerunners are, what they do, why they exist, all that, and it's just, I question it. I mean, it's interesting, but at the same time, I would have rather just continued with the Covenant stuff. And I know that at the end of Halo 3, the Covenant basically became dissolved, but you see what they did with Halo Wars 2, and they brought a Covenant faction. It's not Covenant, it's Banished. They were against the Covenant, but it's the same type of thing. And so I don't understand why they couldn't do something like that. And I guess that's my only question. I'm sure everybody at 343, they're all big Halo fans. I understand that. But at the same time, there's some things that they just should not have messed with, and they did. But I think it'll all work out for the best. At least I sure hope it does. Once Halo 6 comes out, I want people to like Halo again. It's something that's been going by the wayside, I think, ever since Reach came out, really. And people just don't. I mean, Halo is a big franchise, and when you think of video games, you think of Halo. But at the same time, people don't think of it like they used to. People think more of Call of Duty nowadays, and I guess Fortnite now. That's a really big thing that people want to. Okay. That guy just spawned in from nowhere. Fortnite is the game that everybody wants to play and talk about now, and I played it. I think it's okay. I don't really care that much for it. I think that, especially third person, you can only look over one shoulder. It's not like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that I like a lot more. You can change which direction, which shoulder you're looking over, so that you can look around corners easier. And in Fortnite, you just can't do that. So somebody, if you're fighting around corners, could be at a disadvantage. And that's just one of the minor gripes I have about that game. But Halo is one of the franchises that is, shaped gaming in large part because of its gameplay, and I think that Halo 5 was a huge diversion from that core gameplay that Halo pushed. All the abilities and the Spartan charging and the ground pounding, it's all cool for gameplay, and I do think that it changes it and makes it kind of interesting. But at the same time, it's not really Halo. All the advanced motion stuff that video games have been adding, I think it's a cool thing. I think that it should have stayed with Titanfall, if I'm being completely honest. I thought Titanfall did it really well, and I think it would have been cool for Titanfall to keep something like that and not be what people know it for. Not just the max, obviously, but the advanced motion and the jump pack and the wall running and all that. That's really cool, and I really like that idea, but I don't think it's for every game. And I think Halo is one of those. Not saying that I don't like Halo 5, I love Halo 5, I think that game is fantastic as far as multiplayer goes and all the stuff that they added, but it does have a lot of controversy and polarization within Halo, especially with YouTubers. I don't know necessarily how the fans feel that aren't YouTubers, obviously, but all the YouTubers that I see, they all not despise Halo 5, but think that it is very mismanaged. And it's a shame, because it really could have been a great game with all the marketing that they had for it, and I hope that 343 learned their lesson, and they won't do the same thing with Halo 6. That's all I want. I just don't want them to do the same thing with Halo 6, so that people... I think that would be the final nail in the coffin for Halo. I think that Microsoft might not put it down, but do it. EA did with Mass Effect. I think that they might kill it for the immediate future, and that would be a very big shame, especially since Halo is Microsoft's biggest first party. Yeah, we gotta go back this way and leave. But since Halo is Microsoft's biggest first party game, I think that would be a huge disappointment if they had to kill it because it was so mismanaged and maligned for the 4 games that they would have made at this point. I mean, I know technically Halo Wars wasn't 343, but they were involved with it, and I think that Halo Wars 2 was a good indication of where Halo's going. I really liked how they brought a lot of old stuff back. Old Elite, how the Elites used to look before they were these big lumbering idiots, just like brutes. And old Wraiths, old Pelicans. That was really nice to see. I know it's not the Condor is a completely different thing, which is what all the Pelicans in Halo 5 look like, so I'm wondering how they're going to retcon that. or what they'll do with that necessarily. I just think that I'm getting really excited about what the opportunities are for Halo at this point. I know it's probably not going to come out
Sure you
this
wouldn't
year
rather take a
in
seat?
2018,
We'll be fine.
even if they do have some sort of announcement in, in E3.
If I still
I
mention
think that it
yours,
will
we'd be
probably
crossed.
come out in 2019. I think that's the most that they can wait. I understand that they might have had a lot of story stuff to redo after the outcry in Halo 5, but there's only so long that you can wait, that Microsoft will let you wait for something like that. And so there's the first mission. I didn't really talk much about what I was playing. It was more just like an open commentary on things going on around Halo. I can change it up if that's not what people want. If people want me to actually talk about the game, stuff like that, I don't mind at all. Just leave a comment in the comments below on my YouTube channel, and I'll be sure to take that to heart and see what works going forward. As far as right now, I think this is what I'm wanting to do. Just gets me researching and knowing more about Halo and getting the hype train rolling. It might be a little early for that, but you want to get on before it becomes a bandwagon, right? And so I got one last thing to talk about. Halo Wars 2 Team Respawn is putting on a tournament, and it starts this Friday, May 25th at 7 p.m. And I'll have a link in the description for where you can go to sign up for that. I don't know if they have a limited number of spots. I'm not going to be able to do it. I've got work all Friday, really. And if I could, I totally would, but I thought I'd let anybody who watches this know so they could sign up and maybe, win some games. That'd be great. And I think it's a cool thing, and I hope that they do more so that I can join. But I'll make sure to leave that link in the description below. And finally, I've got a question for you. What's your favorite Halo Combat Evolved mission? My favorite would have to be the Pillar of Autumn. It's the first mission I ever played of Halo, and it's what really got me hooked after seeing all the soldiers on the Pillar of Autumn getting ready for battle and all the different warthogs and scorpions and stuff. That was just really cool to me as a kid, and I loved it, so I wanted to do more of that. And after that, that's what got me hooked. So just leave a comment what's your favorite Halo CE missions, and I will see you guys next time.